How can you go from everybody knows what to do, very neatly organized, to this, total chaos and dynamics and things happening, to either failure or success? How does that work? Some people come to me and say, Jeanine, it's like this black box where I am, for instance, a team leader, I have my team, all of a sudden things aren't working the way I want. This is also a way to look at it. The context of the work, the individuals you have, the sources, then this whole dynamic happening, and then there's the performance. I'll dive more into the black box bit. One of the most, I would say, used theories when it comes to teams is of Tuckman, and he states that there are 4 and actually 5 stages in team development. I would argue that it isn't so clear-cut, let's say, and so simple, but it does help to look at development of teams. And it's very much comparable to development of children, where at first they're not that adult and then they mature. It's the same with teams. There are even people stating that each time you meet again as a team, you go back to the first stage, but because you're familiar, you grow quicker, let's say, to other stages. But very briefly, the first phase, people don't really know each other yet. They don't know what the main goal is. It's all pretty uncertain. So they look at the leader. When I'm in front of a group, hosting a new group, they kind of look at me first, and I need to be the one to welcome them, which is really important. Tell them what's the goal of this meeting, or why are we in this workshop or training. And people really want to fit in this phase. They don't want to stand out so much. They want to just be part of the group, and they're looking at each other like, why am I here, actually, basically. Then at one point, people start to show themselves more. And with showing themselves more, the differences come, the diversity comes. Also, the conflict. And because things aren't that clear yet, and people are kind of fighting their way to a certain bit in this team, it's what we call the storming phase. This is where a leader really should focus on the group and the dynamics in the group. Show the main goal, give them the purpose, the way forward, stimulate group activity, and also kind of hold your own discomfort, because this is part of it, and you just need to go through this bit. Then comes the norming bit, where a group develops their own culture and rules, and things play out. You have seniors and juniors, and this is the way we do things. There comes this bit of establishment, you could say. And then performing, of course, is the phase where performance is rising and the group really finds each other. Everybody knows what to do. There's a lot of trust and effectiveness with this. If I'm really honest, I think many teams don't really come to this stage. They might pretend that they are there, but it's difficult. It's difficult to get there. And that's why I was looking for dream team stories. So please share them if you have them, and how you've got to this stage. In the different stages, there are also different themes. Like I said, we are social creatures. So in the first phase, people are more thinking about belonging. And then comes, am I better than that other person? Am I smarter, more senior? And then the connectedness comes in the later stages. How close or how far are we from each other? And like I already stressed, at one point a group becomes a group, and there comes a certain culture with that. And this is a picture of a formal structure with the informal structure there. So who likes who is connected to who really doesn't like that colleague, what are our rules, things we don't really explicitly maybe say, but as soon as a newcomer comes, you know that that was a rule, right? So you explain to this new person, yeah, that's not really what we do here. When you go get coffee, you get coffee for everyone. Those moments are very valuable because it says something about the group culture and about the unwritten rules that you as a group have. And they are the black box that we kind of feel, but we're not really able to describe. When this plays out in a very extreme way, there is the risk of groupthink. And here are some examples of groupthink where you can really say, is this effective? Is this really what helps our company grow? It's something to be really aware of, where, for instance, people don't give each other feedback. Or once I got to work with a team, and before they sent me their reviews and their feedback about each other, and I saw not once, not twice, but more than 3 times, we are such a great group. And as a coach, I'm really aware of those moments. Once, twice, okay, but 3 times is a pattern. So why was it for this team so important to let me know that they were happy? And when I got to work with this team, it was a nice team, absolutely. But there were also some people not really so happy when I got to the real conversation, let's say. But the group culture and the group think was, we are a happy team. We have fun together. With us, it's nice. We go on drinks, blah, blah, blah. And that, makes me sharp to really look at what is going on here. So also for your own team, think about what are the things that we say about each other. What are the patterns we have? What are the rules that we have? The values, the things that we like, the way we talk about our clients, for instance, the way we talk about other departments, about our manager. When you think about this, there are probably 1, 2, 3, maybe even way more common denominators that you have that are typical for your team.